Look, you had escapes during and for. Don't go to where it is. This is a thing of the past. Man, many years ago it was as if she and I were one thing. This is true love. After all, loving is recognizing that our souls are actually one. I agree, but I don't think I'll feel that again with every woman I was involved with. I tried to feel what that woman awakened in me, but I didn't find anyone, and I think things will stay for another life. As my daughter used to say, do you believe in reincarnation? Don't you? I don't usually attend meetings or study, but the subject fascinates me. I knew it was a thing for poor, dependent people, but many of my friends, born in the splendid, as we say, are students of spirituality. In fact, my most prosperous friends are spiritualists. Is it true? Why do you ask me that? Well, Eugenio, you know that we hold meetings here at home, and I'm always in tune with spiritual friends. Yes, I know. Maria Helena tells me fascinating stories. I also have one for you. Tell me how it is. I don't want to interfere, but I realize it's time to stop suffering. Don't you feel that it's time to end this emptiness that consumes you before it destroys you and you regret it bitterly in the future? Eugene shifts nervously on the sofa. I don't know what that means. The power of transformation is within you. Huh? That's right. You're ready to change. You took the initiative. You had a fruitless relationship with Yumo, who only brought unhappiness. Both you and Leocadia deserve happiness. In your case, Eugenio, how did you take the initiative? Life is rewarding you. How come you planted the seed? You reached 50 years old. You look back, thought you should stop everything and change. You got divorced. You're looking for happiness in some way. What was the point of doing all this? I'll never have what I want and what you want. Eugenio stared at an undefined point in the office. After shedding a tear, said, I want my love back. I'd like to find you free again, willing to forgive me. I'd like to propose a unique life by my side, full of love, far from this rush of the big city. I would like to live in love and peace, nothing else. And I don't believe it's possible. Eugenio Rio, only you, Gustavo, can light this flame that I fear will extinguish inside me. If all this were capable of happening, and you don't think it's possible, I don't know. Eugenio exhaled a deep sigh. Gustavo invited him. Wouldn't you like to walk around the garden? It's such a pleasant night. The breeze is gentle. Enjoy it. Go relax. Afterward, we'll go to the salt room. Let's distribute the sea. Helena, wait for me. Let me know that I won't be long, but you can leave it now. Please follow me. Eugenio let himself be led. Gustavo took me to Winter Garden. Take a walk. And I felt at ease. Eugenio walked along the avenues made of gravel and grass, inhaling the delicate scent of the flowers, listening to the sound of the crickets and the wet grass. Absorbed in his thoughts when he came across a woman's figure. He felt his heart beat wildly, his mouth paralyzed, his legs paralyzed. With a trembling voice he stammered, It's not possible you, Carlotta, could barely hold her breath. There were no words to express her astonishment. With trembling lips and cold hands, she considered, I knew that one day we would meet. After all, my niece is going to marry your son. My son means that you are Clarice's aunt. See how life gets messed up in yours. I consider Clarice practically my daughter, and she will be united with your son. I hope they experience the love we didn't experience. Carlotta was moved and began to cry. Eugenio was pale, still felt his heart beat wildly. He jumped and hugged her. Oh, dear, how long have you been holding me? Smell your perfume, your soft skin. Carlotta, in tears, continued to cry, her head resting on Eugenio's chest. I wouldn't like to relive all this. I still feel my chest full of love. I don't want to get hurt again, and because you would get hurt, I am a free man, I know. I know a lot about you. Clarice has always kept me informed of everything. She knows about our connection. She doesn't even suspect it. We've never talked about it. Today, for the first time in 30 years, I talked about our relationship with someone. She blushed. How can it be? 30 years later, let me see. Eugenio took her to a streetlight. Seeing her in the light, he couldn't contain his astonishment. She's still as beautiful as ever. I'm still in love. Did you get married? No. After that dramatic separation, I never wanted to know about any man again. Eugenia looked up and contemplated the stars with her faces. She bathed in tears and thanked him, moved. Thank you, my God. Thank you. This is the greatest gift of all time. May Christmas be blessed. Before Carlotta said anything, Eugenio took her in his arms and kissed her passionately on the lips. Stay with me. Marry me. Let's rebuild our lives. Do you think that after so long, what I feel for you is still as alive as it was 30 years ago? Oh, Eugenio, how I love you. Carlotta let herself be enveloped again in the arms of the beloved. Close to the couple, the spirit of Eugenia smiled victoriously. The couple continued. Hand in hand, they reached the house, and Eustace followed them, looking at Gustavo. He was at the door of the winter garden. How did they feel after so many years apart? The sparkle in Eugenio and Carlotta's eyes was indescribable. Both their faces were illuminated, and their lips expressed joy and happiness. They embraced. It was a genie who responded, Now I believe in Santa Claus. This was the best present I ever received in my entire life. I'd like you to come in and join the others. It's almost midnight. Maria, Helena, and Clarice are going to get a fright. This one I want to see. The three laughed loudly and went in. The others were talking in the living room, and with the arrival of Eugenio and Carlotta embracing, everyone was silent and static. Clarice let out a smile. She was right. Her mind hadn't gone crazy. What she suspected had just turned out to be real. Eugenio greeted the people with a wave and walked over to Maria. Helena, daughter, I would like to introduce you to my future wife. Carlotta. Maria Helena swallowed hard at her father's words. Sir, you already knew Clarice's aunt, and since I don't understand anything, Maria Helena said this in such a funny way that everyone burst into loud laughter. Clarice ran to hug her aunt, and Gustavo considered. Let's get ready for Christmas greetings. After the gifts, we'll have time to hear the fascinating story of this couple. Eugenio and Carlotta have a lot to tell us. While the crowd gathered around the couple, Gustavo went to the corner of the room and thanked the friendly spirits who helped and guided him. Eugenio kissed her candidly on the forehead. Then she closed her eyes and thanked the universal forces. Chapter 25. The week between Christmas and New Year's was a joyful festive season. Eugenio and Carlotta appeared as two teenage sweethearts. They were inseparable. Carlotta left her niece's apartment. Eugenio also left his house and stayed in a hotel for a short time, as they both decided to spend New Year's Eve alone at Carlotta's farm. From there, they would decide what their lives would be like. They were happy and never stopped making plans and more plans. Maria, Helena, and Mario were very happy with their father's relationship. They believed Eugenio was a passionate man who was a perfect match for Carlotta. They approved of the relationship with gusto. Gustavo managed to convince Maria Helena to move into his house right after the end-of-year festivities. She accepted the invitation with great joy. Mario took advantage of the wave of love and unions that was in the air and decided to schedule the wedding with Clarice for after Carnival. Ruben and Aloy scheduled the wedding for the same time. Leocadia surprised everyone when she learned that Eugenio had met his past love again. She felt relieved, as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. She had put an end to that relationship years before out of pure whim, and now she felt happy to be able to bring them together. Although she had achieved unparalleled progress in the sessions with Adu, and found in spirituality the key to reconnecting with herself, Leocadia was to get rid of Isorinia. Her friend still bothered her with successive phone calls, insisting that they spent New Year's Eve together. But Leocadia did as she had learned from Adelmo. She said a resounding no, one after the other, until, irritated, Isorinia stopped calling. Mina also became infected by the atmosphere of love. Perival declared himself on Christmas Eve, and she, moved, accepted the proposal, even though she was still afraid to talk about everything about herself, especially her past. She agreed to date him. It was on New Year's Eve that she saw her ex-boyfriend. She decided to buy a new bikini because Perval had invited her to spend New Year's Eve in Ungradosries at a friend's house. When she left the store, singing happily, she came face to face with Heitor, hugging the girl, a little awkward. She greeted the couple. How are you? Great as always. This is Rita. The girl said nonchalantly. Hi, Rita. How are you? Let's go. This is Myrna, the one I told you about. The girl gave a muffled chuckle. Oh, it's her, but she's so pretty. Myrna smiled. I bet he said I was ugly. He really said, shut up. Rita yelled. He pinched the girl's arm, and she reacted with a cry of pain. Mina! She shook her head from side to side. You really won't change. You'll never change. Why do you have to be so rude and aggressive? What's in it for you? Heitor jumped up and pointed his finger. You're no boss around me. Who are you to tell me anything? You're nothing but a whore who jumped right in the face. You're insulting me. I don't have to listen to those comments. Pass by. She quickly left and ran to the street. She signaled a taxi and quickly got into the car while the driver put in gear. She still heard Heitor's words, shouting like a madman in the middle of the sidewalk, to the astonishment of many people. You vulgar bitch, you're going to have to deal with me. She arrived home distressed. Aloy was terrified. Girl, what's that face? Why are you so pale? I found Heitor. No, I did. Something was with a girl. It seemed like her girlfriend. It was so rude. I could feel the vibration of hate coming from his mouth. Eloisa went to the kitchen and got a glass of water and sugar. Drink it. It will calm you down. Myrna drank it little by little. Thank you. I feel better. I left aside. It's over. Although he's still connected to you. How do I say it energetically? Is there some point in you that accepts Heitor's vibrations of hate? It's as if you yourself had a vacuum cleaner ready to absorb his negative energies. Are you talking about affinity? Did you already tell me about it? Pen, which we'll only have in 15 days. This vacation makes me insecure. You can't create this bond with a therapist. Look at God as a facilitator, as a guide. Don't expect him to solve all your problems. You need to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. I know, but I was very afraid of Heitor. He feels rejected. You look at him even in those terrible conditions, but he doesn't see it that way. For him, you abandoned him, used him, and threw him away. In the same way, you feel rejected. I feel that there are still times when you put yourself down. I imagine you try to hide it. Myrna, is that okay? You are your own judge, and you know what's going on in there, Aloy said, pointing to Mina's head. But there's something you're hiding. How come I don't know? We're friends. You'll always be my friend no matter what happens. But I feel like you're hiding something terrible from all of us. And it seems like Heitor knows things we don't know. Myrna felt her legs talking. If she weren't sitting on the sofa, trembling on the floor, she stammered. Well, I'm the one who couldn't speak anymore. She threw her head on Aloya's shoulder and let the tears flow freely. Cry, my friend, cry, it's good. Can I help you? I only feel things, I don't see them. Who knows? By telling me what's going on inside you, I can help you. It worked out well. You tried, but I can't free myself. You know, a few years ago when I arrived in Rio, Rubinho came in celebrating, carrying bags and more shopping bags. He wanted Elliot to dress her in new clothes for New Year's Eve. He wished they both looked great at the party at Leo Cadia's house, where Mario and Clarice Maria Helena and Gustavo would be. He noticed Myrna's swollen and red eyes. He started talking. Well, and then Myrna bought that scandalous bikini. She wiped her nose with the back of her hand. She looked at Aloy, took a deep breath, and replied with a shy smile. I bought a really pretty one. Perval wants to see me beautiful in Ungra. You're going to be a hit there. The old man won't be able to handle it. He's going to ask for your hand. Far from it. We're just dating. He's been flirting since he joined the company, and you're no longer at the age to date, get engaged, and then get married, right? The 3 laughed. Myrna, you're polishing yourself. Rubinho, to make me happy. I'm going to take a shower and get ready. Perryval is coming to get me soon. When he entered the bathroom, Rubinho ran to Aloy in a low voice. What did he find on the street? It seems he cursed her, for a change. It's becoming a case of obsession, don't you think? I don't know when Myrna started talking. I felt some chills. I don't know, but I feel that Heitor is not well. May God protect him. The night arrived gloriously. The sky of Rio de Janeiro was full of stars, and Heitor sensed that New Year's Eve would be filled with joy and happiness. He was feeling great. He had spent almost all his savings on that fancy cruise around Guanabara Bay. He had made a point of going alone because he believed he could meet a society girl and impress her. He hoped to find someone who liked him, and that way he would show his false friends who was the best. Myrna would still beg to return to his arms. He was enjoying the pleasure of seeing Mir in his arms when a lady accidentally stepped on his foot when entering the boat. Ida gave a heartfelt cry. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you." That's when he realized she was a well-known woman in Rio's high society. He swallowed the pain that the stiletto heel had caused in his foot and tried to smile. "In no way like a woman as light as the breeze that surrounds this bay could hurt me." She felt injured, as Galani is. Besides being very young, not so young. "I'm 30 years old, an excellent age. Not so young, not so mature. Ideal for a woman in her 50s. She cleared her throat, in her 40s. He lightly took one of her hands and kissed it with a smile. Enchanted. "My name is Reader. You must already know mine. I'm Isarinia Ferreira Mellon. I know her from the magazines. But in person, she's much more beautiful." Isarinia felt a burning sensation run through her belly. She closed her eyes and waited for the kiss. She looked up and said, "Thank you. This one's in the conversation." She thought radiantly. In her mind, she began to imagine herself parading with Isarinia through the four corners of Rio, attending the best and most sought-after elite parties. That's when screams of terror echoed throughout the vessel. Yer opened her eyes in astonishment. "What is this?" "I don't know. It must be someone who fell suddenly." The screams grew louder and louder. Someone screamed unexpectedly. "The boat is sinking and there is no lifeguard." Heitor felt a knot in his stomach, and Zurin clung to him, trembling. "Good heavens, I can't swim." She started screaming like crazy. "I can't swim. I can't swim. Help me, for the love of God." Ida hugged her around the waist and was almost jumping into the sea when one of the boat's masts fell, hitting her squarely on the head. Ida let go of Zurin and lost consciousness, while millions of people watched the spectacular fireworks display, welcoming the arrival of another year. The tragedy took on ever greater proportions. It was with sadness that the country followed that tragic New Year's Eve, highlighted in all the media, artists, politicians, business people, high society people. In short, several people from the most diverse segments of society had their lives cut short by the negligence of some greedy people more interested in making a profit than offering safety to the passengers. The bodies lying there were one of the last, to be rescued on the first morning of a new year that was beginning. Chapter 26. Leocadia watched the news impassively on television. She was shocked. She looked at the bodies lined up, wrapped in black plastic. A tear ran down the corner of her eye when she heard the names of the dead people say, "Aurinia, my God." And I even felt the urge to go. I could be among the dead. Mario hugged her. "Calm down, Mom. Don't be like that. See how life protected you. It wasn't your time yet to depart for the spiritual plane. It's Isarinia's time. Instead of wondering what could have happened to you, let's say a prayer at this time. We forgot to pray, and a kind of death like that disturbs the spirit. Isarinia, that's right, my son. What a way to start the year, isn't it? Life has its rules, Mom. The people who left had to go. See, there were survivors. They were talking. When the phone rang, Elizite answered. It was a call from a Palada employee to Maria Helena. She answered, and after a few minutes, hung up the phone with regret. She is on the list of the dead. Leocadia asked in surprise, "Who is Eider?" "He's a Palada employee. He was fired about 15 days ago, but he didn't sign the resignation letter. He received the money. It was all a bit confusing. I'm going to talk to Rubinho. We need to locate his relatives." Clarissa intervened. Eider's only relatives are his father and brother. They haven't spoken in years. From what I know, I think we should call them later. Aunt Carlotta has contact with Ivan, Eider's sister. We can do whatever we can to take care of the identification and release of the body. Things like that. I can do that. Rubinho said as soon as he entered the room. "I'll go with you," Mario added. "Go, and we'll be fine." Gustavo said, "Let's stay in prayer, so that both Leocadia's friend and Eider awaken well in the spiritual world." Rubinho and Mario left that morning for the identification and release. release of Heitor's body and for the preparations for the wake and burial, which would be handled by Pallida. Leucadia cried nonstop. She was grateful every moment for being alive and for not having accepted Dana's invitation. Although she believed in life after death, she didn't feel ready to leave this earth for the first time. She felt an enormous desire to study, to grow, to achieve, to learn. She felt the urge to start over, a strange force, but one of renewal that she had never felt before in her life. She felt someone put an arm around her shoulders. Life preaches, each one know. Oh, Maria Helena, I still don't know if everything is true. I'm confused, but I feel so grateful. How could I waste so much time in a fruitless relationship with your father? How could I hinder my happiness for a youthful whim, for the pride of a girl who never accepted a no from life? You have the right to happiness. Dad is trying to follow his path, even though so many years have passed. You also have the right to change and live better. I was happy that he found his great love again. It feels as if a huge weight was lifted from me. I felt responsible for the failure of the marriage. I messed up your father's life. It didn't mess up at all. Dad was also responsible. Note that there are no guilty parties or victims. We are all responsible parties. We always attract situations in our lives through free will. It is our way of thinking and acting that attracts certain situations in life to us. You are free to choose. Thank God you are here alive. I believe in life after death, but I have so many plans. I want to take care of my grandchildren and go back to school. How good that this shock you received awakened you from your illusions. Now you are ready to see the truth and live happily. And I am happy to see you. Yes, you know we are very similar. No, you are always just like me. That's why I treated you differently than Mario. I didn't want you to end up like me in a loveless marriage. Maria Helena was moved. She really swears that in all these years, our fights and misunderstandings were because she wanted to protect me and never to hurt me. I never wanted to hurt her. I was stupid. I hit her a few times, but it was because I was afraid that you, with a temperament similar to mine, would commit the same crimes. Errors that I committed, I did it for protection. After all, you are my daughter and I love you. Maria Helena could hardly believe what she heard. It was the first time in her life that she had heard from her mother's mouth that she was loved. That brought her a great feeling of well-being like she had never felt before. She hugged Leucadia and kissed her repeatedly on the face, as she had never done before. Mother, how I needed to hear this from you. For this reason, life did not let you go to another dimension. You do not know how. God is happy to hear this. I love you too. Very, very. Heitor, wherever you are, Leucadia and Maria Helena stood up. Aloy and Clarice did the same. They formed a circle and held hands. Gustavo realized that the spirit in the form of a woman was at his side. Intuited by her, he began to speak. We ask at this moment that the friends who had just passed away, Isorinia and Heitor, receive our vibration of love and accept in the best possible way this new stage of life in which they find themselves. So be it, so be it, the others responded. Used to say goodbye to everyone, lightly passing her hand over each one's chest and left gratefully. Leucadia hugged Maria Helena. You can't imagine how happy I am. I must be sad and distressed, thinking about the possibility of being dead, but I feel a well-being, a relief. I can't explain it. It's as if my chest were dominated by a new will to live. This is very good. Mom, I'm happy that you have awakened to the true values of the Spirit. You were very attached to the church and were trapped by social conditioning that only hinders and delays the development of our conscience. I think that from now on you will be able to attend.